What's up, guys? Welcome to the Metal Roofing Channel. I'm Thad Barnette. We're here at IRE 2026 in Las Vegas. I'm at the metal forming booth with Chad Rowe. Thanks for being here, Chad.
Thank you, Thad. Great to be here.
So we're looking at the SCHECHTL Max-F folder today. One of the most common folders in the industry for that standing seam roofer, the workhorse, trim, fabrication, brake. And so we're gonna walk through the equipment today, talk a little bit about the benefits of it and why it might be the right fit for someone's business.
So the geometry of the clamping beam and the freedom and the free space of the folding beam, all of these things are really important to the folding world and to that end user so that they have the most flexibility to make all of the trim pieces that they need to make.
From a perspective of somebody that's brand new to this world, walk me through it.
So we're gonna start with the control system. SCHECHTL has been the industry leader since 1998 with the first ever graphic control system. Today, utilizing touchscreen, of course, we're gonna drag and draw. It really is as simple as that, just drawing on the screen to create your profiles. So really, an inexperienced user, if you can generate and give them a picture to draw, they're able to program and operate this piece of equipment. The control system then is gonna prompt and walk you through what kind of bending sequence I should do and how to handle the material inside the machine.
You know, that's one of the things that I feel like could be a fear for a new user. You know, how easy is it gonna be to use for me and my crew? Because I wanna get my roofs put on, I wanna get my trim made and get on to the next job.
We're gonna take a look at that control system and show you really how easy it is to use. But I think in today's world, and again, that younger generation, they're familiar with touchscreens. I'm the old guy who had to learn how to do all this stuff and how to use this technology.
All right, well, let's take a look.
All righty, let's do that. So this is the SCHECHTL graphic control screen. We call it the S-Touch. So I'm gonna just go right into my graphic mode of programming. This white area becomes a piece of paper and my finger is the pencil. Anytime I touch on the screen, I can stretch and shrink as long as I keep my finger on the screen. I can then also create whatever angle I would like. So very simple. I also get the dimension of the piece that I'm making. So let's just go ahead and draw a basic drip edge. There's my hemmed area. And now I'm creating whatever that angle or pitch is. There's my kick for that common drip edge piece. And now we're gonna put that closed hem on this piece of trim. I can go right into my dimensioning. This doesn't really look like the part when I'm finished with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and align this picture so that I can see exactly what it should look like when it's finished. That's really an important something, especially for those inexperienced users. If I rotate this and I give them this shape, that doesn't match what it really should look like. So again, giving that user the easiest possible scenario. I do have some other features inside this for the more sophisticated. I can measure, again, what my total coverage is, and then I can ask the system to go ahead and make adjustments for me. So I can design parts as well as draw them. I don't have to make a bunch of sample pieces because I've got this drawing utility, saving money and time. So now we're just gonna create our sequence. We're gonna get a picture-in-picture so we can see how this part is made. And we're just walking it through and I can see exactly how it's being made. This is the real geometry of the part. And I can even tell that this is not going to be a functional solution because I'm gonna hit, my material is gonna crash into that beam. How do I correct that? I simply move the material to the outside. Again, I'm doing everything graphically. So I don't necessarily have to be an industry expert as to exactly what this piece of trim is. And then of course we have our full library where I can go in and save that profile. I've got my files and folders, lots of different ways that a customer can set up their storage. System is fully networkable as well through Wi-Fi or through Cat5 cables. Another key feature is built into this system. We do have that remote servicing capability that's all set up, ready to go. Can Metal Forming or can Sheffield dial into your machine? No, we cannot. You have to give us the password before we can come into this. That sometimes is a common concern for a business owner, right? Their stuff is proprietary. It's important to them to have that protected. So that's how we do that. So I'm going to go into my library and I'm going to select this part, and I'm going to do that by double tapping on the screen. I go to my sequencing area and I push start. Now I have on the screen, the machine has moved. It's even telling me to put the paint side down. All right, we're going to make a basic piece of drip edge, but it can be a very challenging part if I don't have the right amount of free space. So let's go ahead and get this part moving. Let's get the system in operation so you can see what's really happening. We're gonna make our maximum bend of 160 degrees. We're gonna create that hem, which protects the water edge, protects the edge of the material. And now at this point, the control system is even showing me how I need to have the material positioned into the machine. So all I'm doing now is I'm looking at this picture and I'm making the flat material look just like it does on the screen. Again, this goes back to that ease of operation for somebody who's not familiar with bending metal. This system is dual direct drive motors for the folding beam. So again, I'm just looking at that screen, making the material match what's really being shown on the machine. And there's my finished part. As you can see now, it looks like it did in that picture that we drew.
So I see you're operating with the foot pedal. How do you use that in conjunction with the screen?
That's a great question. So I have a 3-pedal setup. The far left pedal operates my clamping beam and it makes those movements up and down. Then I have the middle pedal, which operates my folding beam, or it's truly a cycle start function that allows the system to advance to that next step. And then I have the 3rd foot pedal, which has one roll and one roll only, and that's to open this clamping beam. The other main feature or key point is that in the far left and in the middle pedals, we do have an emergency stops. So if something happens, an operator is not in a safe condition, he can always just push that pedal all the way to the ground and the system will go into an emergency stop mode and stop all those motions.
Gotcha. All right.
So we're gonna move from this drip edge part and we're gonna show exactly how we're gonna get to this wall panel program. So I'm gonna go into my library and I find the design both graphically and I also have a naming feature. So this can be numbers, can be letters, however you would like to call your parts. I'm just gonna double tap on this to open that file. And now I have this program pulled up that's ready to run. It tells me what material I need to use. And also very important, I get the cut size that is needed to make this profile. I'm just gonna go in and select the sequencing mode and push play. Again, the system is telling me to start with the material paint side down. I slide it into the machine. Again, I'm just simply following along with what the system is showing me based on what I've drawn. So you'll notice as I'm working with this material, we're able to do different bends, different angles, all with this universal style tooling. We're gonna take a look again at that free space because in this scenario, that free space is important, but from a different perspective than it was with that drip edge. What's happening? How is this material getting positioned? With your SCHECTL system, I have 12 solid steel back gauge fingers that are CNC positioned, accuracy up to 0.008 of an inch. and I'm actually just sliding the material up against those stops. And that's how I know where to position the material. If we can come in and take a look real quick, to be able to make this wall panel, I'm able to make it because of the F geometry, and I have this free space that allows the material to sit inside the machine with no deflection, no damage or danger to the material. Also, I don't have to be inside the machine pressing on it, so I'm in a much safer condition.
And speaking about, making a wall panel like this, that's a capability a contractor didn't have before.
That's right.
They can make their own custom profiles and offer new products, custom trim flashings. That's a lot of flexibility there.
Yep, absolutely. And that's one of those key things that when you're deciding on this, it's really important to have that good quality open conversation with your salesperson of what do I want to do today, as well as what I might be interested in doing tomorrow.
Yep, totally.
Again, that free space allows me to get this tighter geometry inside the machine. So here's my new wall panel. I have on one end, I have a little kick so that I can lock that in securely into my receiver area, as well as I've left an area for nailing and securing this wall panel down. So really, in one machine, we're able to make those trim pieces and then also maybe go into some architectural design of new products that you want to make.
Yeah, very cool. Well, if you're interested in making that leap and seeing what a SCHECHTL brake can do for your business, visit SCHECHTLmetals.com. You can build, configure, and finance your machine directly on our website. Chad, thanks so much for the info. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
If you have any questions, comment down below. Otherwise, subscribe here to the Metal Roofing channel. As always, I'm Thad Barnette. We'll catch you next time.